So a very good afternoon to one and all present here. So today we are going to see about uh, understanding timer and counter, heart of time control. So what is happening in this counter and timer? So today we are going to see the timers and counters. So first slide shows the deep dive into the fundamental concepts of timer and counters. Basically, we know timer and counter, it will perform all transmission control operation. It will be synchronized with precision control, which is enhanced and embedded system to the engaging presentations. So we move to the next slide. So what are timers and counters? So first thing, uh, when we are going to perform any operation, it will depends upon the clock time to perform that operation. If operation is successfully completed within the clock time period, it is called as synchronous communication. So it will be called as synchronous communication. So from this, timer will match the clock pulse and it will synchronize the signal between analog signal to machine signal. So from this timers, it measures elapsed time or countdown from a set interval, much like an hourglass or a stopwatch. They are crucially for scheduling tasks and creating delays. So from this, the scheduling and allocation plays a vital role to creating a task. If the task is going to be successful, the task was completed. If it is not successful, it will be stored as a delayed because the clock does not match. According to these criteria, timers will perform their operations. Then next, counters. Basically, we know counter will always count the sequence. So how the clock pulses matched, how many of the sequence it is going to be matched with their timer clock pulse, what are the data will be shared with their synchronized signaling methods. So it can be count the sequence of the counter values and it will count the data sequence, tally occurrence of external events such as button presses or sensors triggers a relative to a clock signal providing event tracking. While it can be applicable for event tracking, clock signal related concepts, and it will the clock signal is going to be counter. The signal is transmitted through timers and counters. It interconnected with sensors. So sensor will trigger the how the sensors will trigger means it will depends upon timer and clock based signals. Okay, I hope you understand this. Next thing is essential tools. So for these essential tools, we are using embedded systems for automation, enabling precise control over various process and operations. So from this precise control operation, it will enables their data. So this is the basic definition for timers and counters. So we move to the next slide. So next slide, timer based counters key differences. What is the key differences which are used in timers and counters? So it will count the internal clock pulses. It primarily measures time intervals and it is used for delays, scheduling and generating periodic events. So from this timer, what it says, it will count the internal clock pulses to do the clock signal is enabled and it will control their countable operations, internal operations as well as external operations. So from this primary measure time intervals, it focuses on their delays and scheduling and generating periodic events. Next we move to counters. So it it is going to count the sequence with the external tally events, focus on event occurrence rather than time, used for counting button presses and sensors inputs or rotations. For example, a common microcontroller like Atmega 328P found in Arduino operational structures and features multiple timer and counters, offering flexible options for diversing timing and counting applications. So from this slide it shows diversing timing and counting applications. So it will count the sequence by step. So next slide number 4. So modern presentation timers and keeping you on traffics. Okay, so from this remote control tools like stage timer offer web-based timers controlled remotely and accessible from any device. From this PowerPoint integration, it will act as an customized animations for quizzes based time and counters, breaks and managing your task pace effectively. Then real-time coordination, it will be basically enable for real-time integration like RTOs, real-time operating systems, which we are going to start start the program and stop the program in between the various matchable timer and counter operations will be performed. So the example for timer is a synchronous communication. Example for non-timer is called as asynchronous communication. So for counter, we know various types of counters: n counter, modulus n counter, ring counter. These are all the few counters. I hope this topic will understand you very clear. For upcoming session, we can see next topic. Thanks for listening. Thank you to all.